Welcome back to Vintage Vinyl, down here in the Vintage Vinyl basement with Tom Heiser. My name is Jeffrey Lee Puckett. We're going to argue about music.
And you know, there's no better place to get going than we're going to look. As you can see, we're going Jersey Shore. as Pino said to Mookie in "Do the Right Thing," it's time for Bruce.
I'm just glad you actually quoted a Spike Lee movie and not Jersey Shore, the TV show.
No, yes, we are going to count down one of JLP's favorites.
Well, probably my favorite. This list, Tom Heiser, was physically painful.
As we thought it would be.
It was like 3 hours of Sophie's Choice.
Wow.
I would probably sacrifice a child rather than make this list again because it almost killed me.
Well, let's get into it so we don't have to study the agony and anguish that one Jeffrey Lee had to go through. I'm going to start this off. Number 10, Rosalita. The live version of that song was so enjoyable.
Yes.
And for someone who had not heard a lot of Springsteen at that time, I was like, man, this guy's fantastic. He's one of the very few acts that I could say that I would almost rather see live than listen to the album. Not that I don't like the album version, but his live performances are just that good.
I cannot distinguish between albums and live for Bruce. It's just all one great big rush of endorphins for me.
So therefore, you like the look. You like the Bruce.
I can't even argue with that.
Okay.
Normally I would. I'm gonna start with the song that it's just a personal favorite of mine, "The Ties That Bind." It's the opening track from The River. River came out in 1980. It is sort of Bruce's. It's part of Bruce's transition from writing all these really hyper romantic, almost operatic songs into writing about real people and problems they were having.
Very nice. At number 9, I'm going with "Dancing in the Dark." I know. You might be a little leery of me putting something from Born in the USA on there, but very important period. That was my senior year in high school. Everybody was a Bruce Springsteen fan, it seemed at the time. But it was a great album to come back with for my generation, for us kids, of that era. But I love the song. It is a little melancholy, but hey, I think we were all a little melancholy at that time. Plus, he pulls Courtney Cox up on stage to dance.
I'm going with the song, my number 9, that never actually made it onto an official album. It did come out years later on a collection called Tracks. It's called "My Love Will Not Let You Down." This is probably one of the top 2 or 3 greatest songs that Bruce cut from an album. He wrote this song for Born in the USA and decided it didn't fit.
Number 8, I'm going with a very melancholy song, sort of a real kind of hard look at how things are going out there for ordinary people. Atlantic City off Nebraska. Everything dies, baby, and that's a fact. It's a very sobering song, but I love the lyrics to it.
Well, now I've been looking for a job, but it's hard to find. It's down here there's just winners and losers, and no one get caught on the wrong side of that line.
That album shocked a lot of people because it was, it's just acoustic recorded on a cassette. They didn't really think Bruce was going to go there, nor did I, but it's become one of my favorite records. Oddly enough, none of the songs made my list. That's only because I had
too much to choose from.
I had 130 songs in contention at any given moment. My number 8, "Darkness on the Edge of Town." Again, another beautiful examination of what it means to reach out and try and love somebody, but have it all sort of fall apart. And this Bruce hoping to reconnect with an old lover. It's just not going to happen.
Number 7, I'm going with Jungleland. And you got to thank, or I have to thank, a few buddies of mine from Narragansett, Rhode Island, Tom's River, and other places up east who really introduced me as a boy from Louisville, getting together with a lot of guys from the East Coast. That's where I got my first taste of listening to a lot of Bruce Springsteen. So Jungleland was one of those. It's not my favorite song off that album. There are a few to come, but it's certainly worth my top 10.
It's actually the first Springsteen song I ever heard.
And now, story time with Jeffrey Lee Puckett.
I was sitting in my basement, this very
Right.
basement. I was in
Down
this
here.
very basement and listening to LRS 102, and Jungleland came on. I was reading comic books and drawing. I completely stopped everything I was doing. It was actually felt as if time stood still. And I sat there and stared at the speaker. Rangers had a homecoming. Harlem late last night.
Yes.
And that was the moment when my thing with Bruce started, and it has never stopped.
This has been Story Time with Jeffrey Lee Puckett.
All right, my number 7 goes back to Bruce's second album, The Wild, the Innocent, and East Street Shuffle. 4th of July, Asbury Park, parentheses, Sandy. One of his great early romantic songs about a kid who thinks he's growing up and moving on to an older woman who works in one of those little joints down on the boardwalk. Mm-hmm. So it's ultra romantic, ultra.
Well, we're going from ultra romantic to a little bit more sexually charged at my number 6, and Prove It All Night.
Yes.
Love the lyrics to that, and I think the really strong refrain of "Prove It All Night." To me, that was really kind of the like you said, a romantic song, but at the same time, it had a little bit more charge to it when he's talking to his lady. So yeah, I love that song.
I just feel like every choice I made needs to be rethought. I've got Born to Run at number 6. It's not even in the top 5.
Not even in the top 5. Our executive producer will be shocked.
Well, it is. Okay, I'm going to rewrite my list.
No, come on. It's the reason I know you've got it probably that low is, your top 5 is probably exquisite. But what puts Born to Run at 6?
Well, it is just chance. There's just no reason. At that moment, I just felt like it was number 6. In 15 minutes, it could be number 2 or 1. No, it would never be number 1. My number 1 has never changed ever.
Ever?
But,
I like that.
But Born to Run obviously is a classic song. It's a song that introduced Bruce to a much wider audience finally after his first 2 records sort of tanked. It definitely set the scene for what Bruce was all about at that point. The highway stuff,
Right,
the cars,
right.
the girls, the getting away from it all, and it was kind of his West Side Story period in a lot of ways.
Oh, are you ready to start singing some of those songs?
No.
Well, speaking of getting away, it's time to get away.
Who
Magic Guest Ball.
Who is the Magic Guest Ball going to trust to talk about Bruce Springsteen?
And who could it be that's going to dress this cool?
I don't know. We're going to let the 8 Ball tell us that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey guys, John Asher from Churchill Downs, a longtime Bruce Springsteen fan, and I don't envy your task of picking the top 10 Springsteen songs of all time. But picking one, the greatest of them all, that's an easy game for me. My choice, Thunder Road. It's the song that everyone who has ever picked up a guitar anywhere wishes they had written. Thunder Road, the greatest Springsteen song of them all.
That was a good guess.
It
We were happy
wasn't
to have that.
No, that was
close. It was close.
All right, we're getting some rarefied air, especially for JLP. So, time to take a deep breath and go at number 5.
All right, Dennis Hopper.
Number 5 off Born to Run, Thunder Road. Boom. This has some of the most powerful lyrics. It's down on the list if you want to say that at number 5 for me. For some other reasons, but Thunder Road has absolutely some of the greatest lyrics from your front porch out to my front seat. The door's open, but the ride ain't free. The early mention of Roy Orbison.
Roy Orbison sang for the wrong. Hey, that's me, and I want you only. Don't turn me home again.
Oh, I love that, and just the whole build up. The song, the very slow piano. At the beginning. Thunder Road is it's just a fantastic, love and getting out of this place, kind of song.
My number 5, Candy's Room.
Oh.
From Darkness on the Edge of Town. Candy's Room is one of Bruce's greatest rockers. My favorite thing about it would be the insane drumming by Max Weinberg, and then Bruce also turns in just an unhinged guitar solo. Bruce is a great guitar player. He just doesn't show it off that much. He did quite a bit, though, on Darkness on the Edge of Town. It's got 3 or 4 of his greatest solos on it.
And going back to Darkness, we're going to my number 4, Badlands. You talk about a song, of the people, of the kind of like Woody Guthrie almost, speaking for the people, the downtrodden at the time, a poor man want to be rich.
Rich man want to be king.
And a king ain't satisfied unless he rules everything. I don't think any of his songs or songs of that period are void of politics, but it's just bubbling under the surface, and Badlands is a great example of that.
I'm going all the way back to Ground Zero, Spirit in the Night, a song that for years people thought was a Man-for Man Earth Band song. They do a good version of it, but Bruce's version is just perfection. But it's a song that he continues to perform to this day. In his show in Louisville recently, he did a spectacular version of this song.
Number 3, I'm going with Jeffrey's number 6, Born to Run, which you could almost put as a companion piece with Thunder Road. I think the 2 songs about getting out and getting away are summed up probably better than ever in those 2 songs. And the nights we cruise through mansions of glory and suicide machines. That's why I went with this look, so I could do the suicide machine.
It's no coincidence that Thunder Road opens side 1 and Born to Run opens side 2, because they definitely set up the sort of narrative of the record. I'm going with Backstreets, also from Born to Run.
Yes.
It's one of the 2 epic songs on Born to Run.
At night sometimes it seems you can hear that whole damn city crying, blaming on the lies that killed us, on the truth that ran us down.
Jungleland being the other. They're both around 9 minutes long. Mm-hmm. They could be 38 minutes long. I'd be happy.
Well, this might not make you too happy. At number 2, I'm going with Glory Days.
I can't believe you have 2 songs from Born in the USA.
I know. Here come the Dixie cups, and the fresh, the fresh vegetables coming at me. I've explained this, JLP. I was a senior in high school. In Glory Days, you got they'll pass. I can appreciate it. Well, they'll pass you by, Glory Days. I love it in the wink of a young girl's eye. Glory Days. It doesn't have the resonance of like a Thunder Road, but for us guys who are getting a little up there, it resonates.
It is. It's a fun song. I just wouldn't put it at 2. It's not that.
It's all nostalgia.
It's not that fun.
Why do I have to defend nostalgia? You can't do it.
My number 2, Incident on 57th Street from Wild and Innocent, E Street Shuffle. This song starts off side 2. Side 2 is sort of this epic run of long songs. It's Incident, Rosalita, and the New York City Serenade. It's the greatest 23 minutes. It's the greatest sustained 23 minutes, I think, in Bruce's catalog. This is another great character song. Spanish Johnny is the character in this one. He's trying to get his girl to go away with him, just sneak out of town. And doesn't really work out that way, but you can always hope, always dream.
Well, my number 1, again, off Born to Run. It doesn't have the same passion as Thunder Road or Born to Run, but I'm going with 10th Avenue Freeze Out. I love the Bad Scooter and Big Man, which is a reference to Clarence, the late Clarence Clemens. It's just got a great hook to it. You know, I'm going to sit right back and laugh with Scooter and... that is just a great hook. It's a little harder for me, or it's a little hard for me in certain parts, which I really, really like. And again, it didn't. You know, I don't feel myself being swept away by it like some of the others, but I just think it's got just a great refrain, great lyrics by the boss.
I sing this song at karaoke once.
Once. What will it take? And what will it take to get you to do it twice?
More than you got. My number one is not only my Springsteen number one, it is my number one song, period, in all of music.
And you're going to get no argument out of me at JLP.
Thunder Road. It's the greatest opening track any album has ever had. It's the greatest, I think, song Bruce has ever written. It's the greatest song any modern performer has ever written. I'm sure that perhaps Mozart wrote something that was equally as good. Not so sure though.
You know, if I were a guitar player, if I were, wanted to be a songwriter at that time, how could you not stand in front of the mirror and want to belt out those lyrics?
We got one last chance to make it real. Trading them wings on some wheels. Finally back, Yama's waiting down on the tracks.
All right, I know that someone's going to think that Thunder Road is not the best song ever written.
Well, who are they?
You can tell us at the Courier Journal's Facebook page.
Well, look at the list, though. I mean, what are we leaving off here?
Well, we're leaving off a ton. We're leaving off another.
We are. I don't think
70
I don't think the
songs.
river is totally.
No, I tell you
covered
what. I really wanted to get Stolen Car off the river on my list. I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I just love that song. I wanted to get Point Blank. I wanted to get Badlands and Prove It All Night. Mm-hmm. I wanted to get Jungleland. I wanted to get, I don't even have 10th Avenue Freeze Out.
But that's why you have me.
Exactly.
As your backup.
If we could get rid of, no, I was going to say if we could get rid of Glory Days. If we could make Glory Days the song that only comes up on our jukebox every couple months, I'd be happy.
Well, we can let the fans decide. They can tell us. Tell them where they can go, Jay.
Let us know. If you don't want to go to Facebook, you can tweet us at CJ Vinyl.
Jeffrey!
Here we go again. Mom, what's going on with you upstairs?
Have you seen your father's white T-shirt?
I think I can help you out with this one.
Wow. Way to go, Mrs. P.
Thanks for joining us here at Vintage Vinyl. Come back next week.
I knew
we'll be here.
Baseball player down in high school.
I'll be here. Heiser will not.
Oh.
This is his last show. Thanks for being here.